Welcome to the AI Language Lab, where teachers thrive and AI comes alive. I'm your host, Jerome, bringing you concise yet powerful episodes filled with practical insights on integrating AI into your language classroom. Each episode is short enough for your commute or coffee break, delivering tasks and strategies you can immediately implement to enhance your teaching. Be sure to check out our companion YouTube video for visual demonstrations of today's practical tasks. Before we dive in, I'm Jerome. I've taught languages for over 20 years and led digital learning departments. I am also an education consultant dedicated to helping language teachers harness the potential of educational technology and AI. My hope is that the AI Language Lab will become a useful companion for everyone, whether you're already comfortable with AI tools or just starting out and feeling a little bit unsure. Let's talk listening, the Cinderella skills of language learning. It's often the least taught, yet arguably one of the most important skills. I've been fascinated by reading Breaking the Sound Barrier by Steve Smith and Gianfranco Conti, which is fully dedicated to listening in the language classroom. Most of the info I will communicate shortly has been inspired from it. At the AWL event at Oxford University, which took place a few weeks ago, that event was fully dedicated to listening skills, and one of the speakers, Dr. Kelly Simpson, reminded us that pupils must learn to listen before listening to learn, and it really resonated with me. Listening is foundational. It's how students begin to make sense of sounds, parse meaning, and connect phonemes to words, yet it's often underdeveloped in our classrooms. But why? According to research and classroom practice, there are some key reasons. Listening is often left out of language progressions, which is creating major skill gaps. There's a traditional instruction puts heavy emphasis on written input, hindering oral proficiency. Pupils are given comprehension questions but are rarely taught how to listen. Furthermore, vocab is introduced via images or text and not through sound. And on top of that, students are encouraged to guess meaning using visuals or context without developing the ability to decode sound. Learners also switch off after repeated failure with overly complex listening activities. We really have to understand that listening is a very complex skill, and in the space of just 2 seconds, learners must, number one, recognize phonemes, then segment words from a stream of speech, then retrieve known vocab, chunk the language into meaningful units, parse grammatical structures, and build meaning in real time. All of that in 2 seconds. So without explicit instructions in these micro skills, students face a wall of sound. They don't hear words, they hear noise. So this lack of practice has serious consequences. Students feel really unprepared for listening tasks in exams. Audio in assessment is often fast, complex, and requires advanced decoding. As poor listening proficiency strongly correlates with lower scores in overall language proficiency. So what can we do to boost listening skills in a meaningful way? I think maybe we have to integrate listening into daily routines because regular exposure helps build decoding fluency. We have to teach micro skills. Phoneme recognition, parsing, and sound patterns have to be explicitly modeled. Then we have to strengthen bottom-up skills. We'll have to help learners decode sounds, syllables, and broad boundaries through repetition, minimal pairs, and gap fill, for example. But if you don't know what bottom-up skills mean, it involves processing language from the smallest unit, first of all. So we've got sounds, letters, syllables, words, and slowly we assemble the meaning as we go. So phonemes, syllables, words, sentences, and overall meaning. So if we're doing some listening and you hear a t, you break into sounds, you recognize that as cat, and that's bottom up in action. Then we have to strengthen top-down skills to encourage prediction, visualization, summarizing, contextual guessing, using authentic resources. So now we're going the other way. So top-down skills, they're about using what you already know, your background knowledge, expectations, and context to make sense of what you're reading, hearing, or even seeing. So if you have a listening comprehension, you hear someone say, do you want at a coffee shop, your brain is going to be feeding with the rest of coffees, a croissant, or what is it? That's top-down processing. So it's going to help fill in the blanks and make educated guesses. So they hear they're key for inference, prediction, understanding nuance, and reading between the lines. What else can we do to boost listening skills? Maybe Promote active listening by including some strategies like shadowing, transcription, and sequencing. Give feedback, focus on growth over performance, and I think that's really important, and avoid over grading. Not grading straight away, just do exercises and repeat later on and get that confidence going on. And make listening tasks relevant. You have to use real life context and themes that students really care about. So we're going to talk about textbooks. It's very, very difficult to create textbooks. There's so much work to get into it, but I think that sometimes the listening exercises in textbooks are not really set for all learners. And sometimes it's very difficult to get the right listening exercise and the right listening tracks because it goes too fast. It sounds a bit unnatural. Maybe it's overloaded with unfamiliar vocab. There's lack of repetition. There's lack of scaffolding. And it's designed to be testing and not teaching. And that really helps students develop the skills needed for real-world listening. So if the exercises and the manuals are not good for us, what can we do? Well, we can create our own. And it's so much easier now with AI to be doing that. And let's grab your ChatGPT or your Claude or the other ones and start building some stuff up. So we can generate level-appropriate scripts on any topic. We can turn text into speech after that with tools like TTS Maker that I'll show you to use in the YouTube video. Then you can create some engaging video content using Vitno's avatars. For example, there's plenty of them. And you can also animate speech with Adobe Animate from Audio, which is also good for younger learners. So that means that you can design slower, scaffolded dialogues, custom thematic listening tasks, and realistic and motivating audio practice that builds confidence and skill, and that's really important. Suit up, language innovators, it's lab time! This week, try this practical challenge. Use any large language model, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and try to generate a short scripted dialogue at the level of your choice. I will give you a prompt that you can use if you want, and everything will be shown how to do that into the YouTube video. Then you're going to paste the script into a TTS, a text-to-speech tool, to produce an MP3. Then we're going to be using Vidnos to animate and give voice into a dialogue. So I would like you to have a play and do that. And you can use this as a starter activity, a gap fill, a practice activity for listening micro skills. All in all, listening deserves as much attention as speaking, reading, or writing, but it really needs to be taught, not just assessed. With AI, you can now create listening resources that match your learner's level, teach decoding skills, and build long-term confidence. So thanks for listening to the AI Language Lab, where teachers thrive and AI comes alive. Subscribe, leave a review, and let me know what you'd like to hear in future episodes. Next week, we'll concentrate on speaking and the use of bots or maybe ChatGPT to improve our speaking and to give confidence to our learners. Until then, happy teaching!